Always Talking Shit Show.
What it do? It's your boy Akeem.
It's your boy Talkin. It's another session of the Always Talking Shit Show. And you know what it is. Every time around here we say, fuck how you feel.
And we mean it.
Man.
So how about that debate, brother?
How about our week, first of all? It's been interesting. We're not going to go into detail, but it's been a fucking very, very interesting week for Always Talking Shit, for real.
There's been a unique series of events.
We're not going to get into detail on it. You'll fucking recognize it if you're a friend of the show.
What was, when it comes down to it, dog, the world wants to know.
That's fine. What's
up with you? I was going.
Oh, we're going to. Let's go to something else. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we've been I don't know if you have personally, but I've been waiting to see Kamala in this moment of truth. I want to see her under the spotlight. I want to see her answer questions about police brutality, even things about her record as a DA. Our AG.
She didn't really. One thing I think I would have liked to see from her more tonight is more of her speak on her time as an AG and all that shit.
I mean, she got that shit off,
and maybe, but me personally, it's asking a lot. But maybe I kind of fucked up back then, but I'm on some whole. This is what it is now.
I think,
but I told you as well that there was things that she said tonight that won me over more. That doesn't make me feel like I'm voting for you because I have to get this motherfucker out. But now, okay, you're talking some shit I want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Now it's not so much as a I have to do it now. But you're gonna now. I'm like, okay, I can fuck with you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or I can fuck with you more than I was at the beginning.
I mean, I think that I feel that I respect it, but I keep saying this about her. I think a lot of people got her fucked up about her record. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I think that maybe that is probably missed. Now, maybe in her presidential campaign, she should have took that cue from you and been more proactive and like express, getting to the nook and cranny, if you would, of that. But yeah, I think that the contrast of seeing her next to the responsible party in the White House, because we got to remember, Pence is crazy and as outlandish as his ass is in terms of like his ineptitude. He's the adult on the ticket.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so as much as your face turns up when you listening to him not answer questions, deliberately speak over both women, the woman that he's debating and the woman that's narrating, it's hard to stomach. You look back and you be like, damn, he's still much more of a gentleman. He's still more respectful, and he's still much more like he reads much more of a true politician, for lack of better term, than like a President Trump does. And I think some people, I'm starting to realize that that's really his shtick to them. Like, that's really what they like. Is that they're not politically astute, and neither is he.
Right? He says
you know
shit.
What I mean?
He says shit that they can understand, and they don't have to.
They don't
have to go decipher any of that shit.
Yeah, they don't understand compound words, and neither does he. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just.
Hey, some of the looks that Kamala was shooting this nigga,
made it spicy.
Pence.
She was,
Hey, that was some real black mom shit. Like, suck your fucking teeth at me again, I'll smack the shit out you.
Dog, so the funny thing is, she kept getting them up out of there with like her expression, like, "What are you talking about?" One of the things I noticed is that there's a discipline level. Everybody thinks about speech, but in these debates, facial expression control is important, bro.
On top of that, like, to have the poise not to interrupt all the fucking time, because nigga, on our show, I'd be so ready to interrupt.
Right,
niggas.
It's hard to do that. What we're doing.
Where we
imagine
have the
someone
free
lying
reign,
on you in front of millions,
and we got the and like being on. Everybody's got to be on a time frame on that shit. We're not on a time frame here. We can take shit as long as we want, as short as we want. But like in that situation, dog, like, nigga.
It's just
interrupt me again when it's my time to talk type shit. You know what I'm saying?
that's a
Like
fact.
we were just talking about I want a presidential candidate. It ain't ever gonna happen. This is some real like hood rat shit, I guess you would call it. But to walk up on a nigga and just pocket check this nigga one time, just real gangster shit. Just stand over this
Well,
nigga. It just
as much as it pains me to say, Donald Trump did the closest thing to that.
I need somebody to do that to him though.
But he did it to a woman, and he was just trying to like.
You don't get no
intimidate her.
stripes for
You don't
that.
get no stripes for that. I would love to see a man that was running against him, like he say a lie, and you just walk over there towards him.
Say it
Like
again.
what'd you say?
Say that. Say that.
Just to show
Say
how
that
much
punk
of a,
ass
like,
lie.
yeah, you know he's a
one
coward
more time,
and
nigga.
non-confrontational.
I looking ass nigga.
Remember when Barack was flaming him? He looked like he was gonna cry. he was gonna cry in the car. Hey,
Donald Trump seemed like the type that he does cry in the car.
no facts. The shit that was cold about it is, nigga, I don't know if you remember that video. His wife was laughing.
Oh
that shit
yeah, I
was
do
funny,
remember
bro.
that shit. Yep, that shit was
That nigga
mad
Barack
funny.
told that nigga to go find out what happened to Tupac and Biggie. That shit
That
crazy.
shit was mad funny.
But shout out to Kamala. Shout out to the debates.
My only thing also is I don't think that should be that short. Is
The debate.
us discussing it. Like I told you before.
No, I wasn't rapping it. I was just saying. I was just shouting out.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you.
told you in our pre-production, it's like she's got to do more to like resonate with me as a community leader. Like as far as like I need to see more of myself and my people in her. And in this debate, I saw a little bit more of it, but I need that to continue. I need you to represent for us.
But you also got to understand, in fairness,
I mean, nothing radical.
what female-
nothing Black Pantherish.
No,
nothing
no,
outrageous.
ain't nothing wrong
you know
with
what
Black
I'm saying?
Panther.
No, I'm not saying it
Yeah.
is, but you're trying to be vice president. You
No,
you gotta.
That's not where I'm going.
You feel
That's
me?
not where I'm going. I'm just saying, as a black woman running for the vice presidency, I didn't hear anyone else be accused of sleeping their way to the top. That was a news topic. Like they tried to put that on her. I didn't like
Fuck
Amy.
you, Tommy Lauren.
Amy Klobuchar like has one of the most horrendous cases in recent years, and that man is still fighting for his freedom. And there's all kind of evidence to suggest that she buckled the case, and that's part of the reason why she stepped down out of the presidential race. I didn't see the mainstream media attacking that, so I'm just saying, like, I'm not sitting here caping for anybody. This shit is fucked up, fam, and we don't have no real leaders. It seems like, but I do want to keep it like, in my opinion, I just think that there's been a lot to say about her with very little vetting openly, and now that she's on the ticket, let the games begin. You know what I mean? We'll see if she's strong enough. She looked presidential tonight. I'll say that.
No, I'm not. I'm not taking that from her. I'm just saying I need.
I know you're not. You're giving like positive critique. Like
Yeah,
you're not
I
shitting
just
on her.
I need
You like
I
a lot
need
of
that
people, bro.
Obama-esque from
But
you.
I'm gonna tell you, people got to stop looking for Obama.
No, that's why I
He's
said
not coming
that's
back
why I
as
said
the president.
Obama-esque. Like,
feel you, but
like
dog,
No, not as far as policy and everything. Resonate with your people like he did. You
that's
feel what
a
I'm
gift
saying?
that comes around every generation. I mean, you're talking
But
about
she has the opportunity to
she has an
to
opportunity,
do it.
but you're talking about a mark. And the thing is, you can argue that if she was going to resonate in that way, she would have done it already.
Right.
Now, she's now getting to the national media. Because if you go to California, bro, like in her region, I know a lot of people that fuck with her and speak very highly of her.
But we
we'll
know
see.
the name. There's also this other side that doesn't either. And there's some fucked up shit that happened while she was fucking AG. And we argue back and forth that it ain't her fault. It ain't that. I've researched it.
My thing
and
is, if you're going to
there
hold
is-
it against her
there
individually,
is-
all black people should vow never to join the police force, law enforcement.
nigga, you ain't gonna fight.
Hold
You
on.
have a good
Law-
argument with
listen
me
to
on that,
law
nigga.
enforcement or politics. Our
Our
politics. See, and that's the thing. Because she held a political
We
position.
need
But I know that.
them
And
in
since,
politics,
but that's why we
though.
have to be understanding of this. Because she held a political position, they can go and say everything that's fucked up with the law system, with the legality system, which we know is skewed towards us, which she
Okay.
admitted tonight, and the vice president wouldn't.
Okay, but I have a
They
question.
can now go umbrella term and be like, "Oh, this,
I have
this was on her
I
watch.
have a
this was on
question
her
for you.
watch."
Okay, if you were AG, right? In that case, the dude that got 13 million, It is documented that she had enough power to get that shit thrown out because there was enough evidence in his favor. That's how he ended up getting out and how he ended up winning a civil lawsuit. You don't win a civil lawsuit if you lying, my nigga.
But dog,
So here,
wait,
but
stop.
here's
Do you know how much police departments and cities pay per year in getting it wrong? Like, I'm just saying, it's
no. I'm not. But what I'm saying,
damn
wait. You're not letting me finish my
billions.
question. I guess I kind of drifted off too. If you were in her position and you had the facts sitting in front of you, which allegedly I'll even go as far as allegedly. There's many documentation from many news outlets, even across the world type shit. I'm not taking just American news on this. You know what I'm saying? Like I do a lot of BBC research because I kind of trust other outside outlets than us because it's kind of unbiased. They have nothing to fucking do with us. You feel what I'm saying?
it seems like that until you realize they're all trying to make one world order.
But would you do your best to get this nigga out of jail?
Now, I don't know how the process works. I know that from my
he's on death row. He was on death row.
Let
me put
from
that
my
there
own
because you have more
knowledge.
power.
No, from my own knowledge, fam. I know that for the attorney general to step in or the governor to step into your case, it is 1 in a million, and it reached national news, and a lot of celebrities and do-gooders and people with goodwill in the community have came out and voiced that you've been wronged. That's typically how those levels of politicians get involved in these type of cases. Now, me personally, I would direct a lot more of the venom towards the attorney general. I mean,
I was about to say that's her, nigga.
the district attorney.
She was DA too.
But she wasn't district attorney and attorney general during this
No,
time.
she wasn't AG at that time. She was DA at that time.
But who was the district attorney when this happened?
She was.
So, and it came across her desk that
yes,
we have this person on death row.
We have this evidence.
It's
false. And she did not get
I would
involved.
have to see that. I would have to see that. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the way they're going after Kamala, I don't understand why they, like the way Trump plays politics, I just don't understand why that wasn't the leading cause
but some of the articles I read were from back then. It wasn't even. Some of them were new articles being brought up.
Well,
but some of them were.
It's been brought up
before her presidential run.
This is my thing. During her presidential run, it came up.
No, but I was reading shit before then.
I know, but I'm saying the fact that it came up during her presidential run, and it didn't derail her. It kind of like fell on. It lost its legs. Versus like an Amy Klobuchar, like that literally like damn near had to step out of the presidential race because of the shit that was coming up on the way she mishandled this case. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I'm not comparing and contrasting. I just don't know enough about her mishaps in that particular case. I'm
going off that one particular case though. Like fuck that shit we talked about earlier about that dumbass school law that there is that had nothing to do with her. It's a law that's in the state that she fucking is DA or AG over.
And my thing is, what is she talking about now? What is she
she's talking about way different shit. But that's what I said. She kind of won me over a little bit more.
Her, that's why he picked her, of having this track record. Like if you go down her voting manifest and like her track record.
But she's
fought for these things.
But I understand.
She's fought for decriminalizing
but at the same
marijuana.
time, she was one of the people who helped put a lot of people in jail.
When you're the attorney general and the district attorney, you are going to be one of the people that put a lot of people in jail. But I'm going on your point you made a while back. All those people didn't deserve to go to jail.
I'm not saying that either. But I'm making the point that you made a while back is like, it wasn't just Joe Biden and Bill Clinton. There's a lot of people that signed these bills. She is one of them.
Well, she didn't sign any of those bills at that time, but she was working in that field.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like, it's like when you join law enforcement, you can make a sound argument that you have joined a force and an entity that's against black people. Mm-hmm. So when those people get in there, because we do need people of color in law enforcement. I'm not foolish enough to say we don't.
But not people like Daniel, what is his name in Kentucky?
Yeah, man. Unless we'll get his name. And is it Cameron?
Daniel Cameron.
Yeah, we don't fuck with him over here, man. We don't fuck with your kind.
It's niggas like
Daniel Cameron, man. I'm gonna say this. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you
Go
off,
ahead.
fam.
Say whatever
But
you need to
man,
say about
all I'm
this
gonna say
nigga.
this is I don't know what this world did to you, but black people aren't your enemy, man. And we're not your stepping stone for political gain. What you did is despicable. You're the worst type of African American male, and we do not claim you. You are no longer a part of this tribe.
The fucking hypocrisy with this man is amazing because he's like talking about Meg Thee Stallion is politicizing this shit. That's all you've been doing, bro. This has all been political for you.
Facts.
It's all been a political move. So how dare you get mad at Megan Thee Stallion for getting at you for the stupid shit that you did when really all she did was play a soundbite from somebody
Tamika
talking
Mallory.
about you, one of your constituents.
No, Queen. She's not as constituent. She's an activist.
I mean,
And
not
she's-
constituent. What would you call it? He's in her. She's in his. She's there
in a
where
political
she
sphere.
lives.
She's in a political sphere with him.
She lives there, right?
No, she's just there as an
Oh,
activist.
okay.
That's Tamika Mallory.
Okay.
That the voice that they played
Yeah.
on that clipping, and it was a couple other voices.
And
in
you
that
are
soundbite.
exactly what she said you were, bro. You were exactly
She didn't lie.
what she.
She did not lie. That sister did not lie. And the thing about Meg,
You are a sellout Negro.
the thing about Meg, dog.
I'm not gonna call. Hold on, wait before you cut me off. I'm not gonna call you a house nigga. I'm not. You are a sellout Negro, and I don't understand. Like, I can look at your complexion and tell that your parents are both black, and like it's like, I need to know now them because are you shitting and spitting on them?
Well, the thing is I would say this from my experience.
Your grandparents, you got to be shitting and spitting on
But
them.
no, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just throw this caveat out there. I don't know if he was raised by black people.
I mean, shit.
Just because he's dark skinned, so yeah, his biological parents were obviously black, but that doesn't mean that they were his they were
That's
his legal
who
guardian,
raised him.
and that's who raised him. There's a disdain for us in him, and the fact that you chose to buddy up to the police department, to the very same men that will kill you, to the very same men that will harm the children that you may have that resemble you, it just shows that what they did to us hasn't been eradicated from all of us. And one of the hardest things I ever had to learn was everybody with your skin folk ain't your kinfolk. And he's an example of that.
He's a Candace Owens, bro.
We're disappointed.
He just has more power
The thing,
than Candace
I was about
Owens.
to say that because we have to make that. The thing, Candace Owens ain't shit. She ain't got no fucking power.
No, she has no power,
The
but
bitch
she
just runs her mouth
poison.
and she gets paid. And the thing is, all these Negroes
What is
that
them
get
that
get
lame
played
ass
like that.
the twins? What are their
No,
dumbasses?
they all
I can't
need
stand
they
them.
all need to understand one thing, because see, they didn't make this black man the fall guy for Breonna not getting justice. They done made him the fall guy. They done made him the picture of what's wrong with the judicial system and law enforcement
And you know,
in
hold
that
on,
state.
man, fuck that. Just fuck him, bro. Like, period. Like, for you to say that the fucking cops did their job and the justice
I can-
system did its job,
I can
like,
argue it did
fuck you.
by
like,
design.
Like,
You know, so I feel you, and my sentiments are the same. I just think
I would
that
punch
like
you in the fucking throat,
no,
nigga.
I just think that people.
I really would.
I think that people really should like understand, and this is what they do when you sell your people out for a position. When you think that Trump is going to put you on the Supreme Court, when they make these kind of backroom promises to you, and then they make you the fall guy, and now you can't go to your community for a haircut. Now your children, if you have any, have to deal with this. You know, your wife doesn't because she's not from the community. But that's not fair to put everyone else that's been affiliated with you in any kind of way under that type of duress. And this is that important. This is a big deal. And they have done nothing but make this guy the fall guy. You know what I mean? And you know he's not the one pulling the strings. So it's just a lesson to be learned. Like, what do you really when you turn yourself against your people?
What is your soul worth?
Right. What else do you have?
What's your soul worth at this point? Like your soul, like I don't know. Like my soul is worth more than me than whatever money you're getting paid because Breonna Taylor didn't get justice. And
No.
the fact that you're trying to prosecute her boyfriend for shooting a fucking cop who he thought was an intruder because I know goddamn well they probably did not identify themselves as police officers.
Well,
There was so the only witness that said they fucking did that is somebody who I guarantee was coerced into saying it because
no.
they've talked to him
Even
like
if they
three
wasn't,
different times.
even if he wasn't, that's the only witness that they empowered.
Fuck everybody else's word.
That's why
Like
we
just
need to
because
do
you're
away
with
with
our
grand juries.
fucking, you're on our agenda. So what your word counts. These other 10 people, nah, what they say can't be true.
Yeah, man. Like I said, some of this shit is by design. And one of the things that I will say is that when he said they did their jobs, the way these laws are written, they're written so that they can criminalize us, they can dehumanize us, and they can murder us justifiably. So he didn't lie there. And I'm not saying he's saying that to like empower us in any kind of way or speak to truth or power to truth in any kind of way. I think that you have a weak man um, that thought that he was going to be protected by a white supremacist system. And even while disrespecting the life of a young black woman, they threw him and hung him out to dry. And I keep saying that not to shoot him any bail, not to feel sorry for him, but for people to understand. You can't show me one sellout that won. You can't show me one Uncle Tom coon ass nigga that made it, that it was successful for them, that it worked out. They always hang you out to dry, fam. It's divide and conquer, and they don't care about you. Candace Owens didn't even get invited to the Republican convention, fam. All this,
All them
this
motherfuckers
dick sucking
didn't.
she be
All
doing
them
for Trump.
motherfuckers didn't.
All this running around, all those so-called black constituents. Where the fuck was y'all at during prime time? Where it could have actually, where you could have monetized off just simply being there in front of such a large audience. If you're truly conservative, and the conservative culture of America, which is known as the Republican Party, truly embraces you as a spokesperson, as an ally, then where was the inclusion? Where's the inclusion? How come no positions of power goes to anyone that looks like you? All you're good for is to send you into the room full of black people and disagree with them. It's weak, man. And they've been doing this shit since slavery.
You could
So-
y'all would have been better off just going to be fucking lawyers and going
Figure
to
it out,
argue
man.
for a fucking living instead of going against your people and doing all this coon shit thinking that you're gonna get your fucking 15 seconds of fame in front of Donald Trump and this shit. Donald Trump does not give a fuck about you because your fucking bank account don't got enough zeros. It don't matter what you doing for fucking talking shit and helping him out and thinking that you're gonna change the narrative with the black community. No, that shit don't. You ain't got enough money to kick it with this dude, to kick it with these people.
I would even say this, man. These people don't give a fuck about money either. They care about themselves, and that's why when all these investigations and hearings go on, you go listen to a Senate hearing. You know, they're telling on each other left and right that there's no loyalty, and the ones that are, that goes to show you who the real gangsters of America are. You got cats in $10,000 suits that ain't never seen a jail cell. That's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll go to prison. I ain't telling you shit on my guy Donald Trump. He to connect, and before he's out of office, I'm gonna get a full pardon. And you got a guy like Donald Trump that, yeah, this dude got arrested for 5, 10, 15 felonies, money laundering, all type of shit. And yeah, I gave him a pardon because he's my guy. He's my friend. And then you got people that's supposed to be fighting for the people that want to have decorum. They want to be mannerable. They don't want to speak over anyone. And I ask myself, are we doing a disservice by sending people to D.C. to fight for us that are millionaires? I don't give a fuck what district they're from. I don't care what high school they went to. I don't give a damn how broke they were when they were born. Where are they at now? And I tell people all the time, no disrespect to Nancy Pelosi, but she's rich.
Very rich.
So how much can she really? How much does she really fight for me and those people in the Bay Area, the cats that we know in North Richmond, Oakland? Like, how much does she really fight for those people? And how desperate is she in her fight? How aggressive is she in her fight?
I know she's trying to get us that stimulus that this nigga Trump just took his
Well,
ball
the thing is,
and went home
one
on.
person could say she's trying because she's arguing for and not against. But
Isn't she one of the people who helped write the bill, though?
yes, but the pressure. I'm talking about applying the pressure. And when you see the Republicans pounce on a Democrat for something,
They go hard.
they're all on code.
That's straight hyena, nigga.
They don't give a shit if it makes sense or not. Oh, this is what we saying about him?
Hyena.
Bet, nigga. That's what it is, right? So the thing is like sometimes when you got people fighting for the good, a lot of times they're weak. Fam, let's just be 100. A lot of times people that fight for the have-nots and people that fight for the so-called right side of the equation, they're weak. They're passive, right? They're too willing to concede. And I'm just waiting for the so-called liberal party of America to get some fuck you in it. And I understand it's about getting the establishment out. That's why a lot of us aren't excited about Joe Biden. Because he represents the establishment.
He's still part of the fucking
In my eyes,
thing that we're trying to
my
fight
eyes,
against.
He still represents the older white guy that Barack Obama had to put on the ticket so white so-called non-racist people would
come
vote for
fuck
him.
with him.
And unfortunately, he still represents that when I see him sometimes. Now, I know there's
He
a lot
still,
of...
he still represents that fucking elitist 1% white. That is exactly what the fuck he represents to me.
What people, especially like I would say white Americans have to understand, because a lot of people will hear this and be like, no. And they'll tell you his biography. Like, oh, no, he's this, and he's a man of the people, and he came from this. He wasn't born wealthy. Okay, I get all that. But white poor is completely different than black and Latino poor. And so
they'll never get that.
What people think of Joe Biden as a blue collar guy, to my community,
that's
he's fucking
white collar.
wealthy.
That's wealthy. That's
to my community. He and his family and people that look like him have been afforded things that we have fought for 400 years. So it's hard to look at him and think us. I don't give a fuck how long you rode the subway before you became vice president.
And you know what? And you know what? kind of. I can't say fuck Charlemagne. That's taking it too far on that one. But
yeah, we didn't. That's where you going?
No. Because you remember, you were saying, you was poking that nigga Joe so he would say some dumb shit. When he said, like, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Like, Joe, you're not allowed to say that, my nigga. You are not. We don't look at you from our struggle, bro. You don't get to ever say that to us. You know what I'm saying?
Now, this is the thing. This is an idea. This is an example of a man being invited into a home and becoming too comfortable. Now, you got your feet on my couch.
Yeah. Bro. You're on
Joe
your feet
came
is
to the
on.
house.
You ain't got your drink on the coaster, my guy. Like
Joe came to the house and put his motherfucking feet on the couch. And niggas had to tell him, like, yo, hey, Joe, you cool, but get your goddamn feet off the couch. We don't do that here. Nigga, take your shoes off, right? You ain't getting kicked out. You're not getting skipped on the invite next time we having people over. Just take your shoes off.
Mind your fucking manners around here.
I really want to say that because to me, yeah, we could run with that. And I know the Republican Party and the naysayer, some sensitive people will want to run with that and dwell on that. But we in real times. And
I just thought it was funny.
I know, it is. To an extent it is.
Like,
it's both funny and disrespectful to an
you're
extent.
not allowed, but yeah, hella disrespectful, like I said, because you're not allowed to speak from that place. You're not from that place.
But I can argue that white people have had a history, and they come from a history of where they all had to say over black people. individually. You didn't have to be law enforcement. You didn't have to be any kind of like scholar or leader proven in society. If some Negroes were around, you were their superior. You could say, "Hey, boy, pick that up. Hey, but what you guys doing?" So you still see some older white people with those traits. Like they'll see us and just feel like they have to know what we're doing. They have to scope us out. And we don't really fuck with them like that. So it's just kind of like, yo, that's where some of this comes from. I think some of it is top behavior. Like I don't even think it's necessarily a fixture of like, oh, I'm gonna be racist towards those kids. Because you could meet these same people in certain scenarios where you would never experience this from them.